to start by asking you, what were some of the motivational factors in your and Carla's decision to make the move to Covenant Village?
That is a great question. So we put our names on the list more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago probably. As you may know, I was a financial advisor in the community, and I had a lot of good friends and clients who were among the very first to move here in 1984, I think, but it was very early when Covenant Village started, so we knew about it. But we had to care for our aging parents. I did, and Carla did, and we did not regret or mind 1 minute of that. It was an exercise in love, and we enjoyed the last years of their lives. But we decided that we did not want our children to be in those circumstances. We wanted to be in a place where we could age gracefully and happily and comfortably without having to pull them and maybe make them feel guilty about what they could or could not do for us. So that was one motivating factor. And then also, we are concerned about cognitive decline. Now, fortunately, right now, we do not have cognitive decline, although I can't remember where I put my glasses, but I think they're in the car. But we are concerned about that. That's one of the reasons we signed up for the brain health program, because we are concerned about that and we want to stay on top of that. And we know that in this community, we can stay on top of that.
Well, you mentioned that as an example. Are there other things that you found that you really enjoy about living in a community like Covenant Village?
When we decided to move here, I told Carla, I said, now, after we sell our home, I'm going to take some of the proceeds and buy a nice little cabin or something up on Lake Norman so I can go up there on the weekends and, kind of get away from it and so forth. We had been here about 2 or 3 weeks when I decided I didn't want to get away from it. I loved it. So what has been so encouraging and really a little bit of a surprise to us is how much it means to have so many friends. We already knew so many people here. We knew the people, and they were friends, but now they're really good friends. So we are so happy to be here because of the relationships, and it's getting better and better. I mean, there's so many new things. The pavilion right down here, the chairs we're sitting in outside, we just love it, and I'm so glad we did.
What, from your professional experience as well as your experience living here, what are some things that you see that are ways that individuals that are interested in investing in the future of Covenant Village could perhaps consider doing so, along with examples of things you've already seen?
What I have been encouraging people to do in the season of giving is to consider giving at least some of their contribution, maybe all, to where the need is greatest. Because if you look at that, when you give that where the need is greatest, what you're doing is you're empowering the board and the management to make decisions. And some of these things we may not even know about, but some things just happen. Our bus breaks down. We've got money to buy a new bus. We've got money to spend to upgrade Main Street and make it look, more appealing. One of the things they can also do is programs like this brain health program that I'm so excited about and engaged in. They can set money aside for benevolence. They can do that for where the need is greatest. And so that's part of what being here is taking care of and supporting one another. And I think what the giving says is when we all give, what we're saying is we're in this together. We're all in this together. And I think the giving also says that we are a community. It's not just you, and regardless of the amount of money you give, you're saying, I'm supporting this community, and I certainly support it.
So you already listed some of the reasons or examples of ways that Covenant Village leadership was able to move forward with projects that were on the radar, but not necessarily fundable until a few years from now. From, again, your experience as a professional financial planner, what are some words of advice you may give to individuals that are also considering that in your future as they look to where they want to leave their legacy in the future?
When you prepare your will, you can tell your the attorney, I want to designate a certain portion of money. We don't recommend that. We recommend you do it as a percentage, because you don't know what money you're going to have at the end, and you don't want to not support your family. So, what we suggest is setting aside a certain percentage of your estate to your church or charities, and certainly Covenant Village can be a part of that. There's one vivid example of a couple who had no children, and they left a significant amount of their estate to, in this case it was our church, but they pre-planned that and put that money in. That's an endowment fund now that's multiple millions of dollars because it's grown, and we're doing charities and giving out of that foundation on behalf of our church. The same thing is true here at Covenant Village. If you love it as much as I do, you want to support it beyond your lifetime if you can.
Thank you so much for your time and for all that you do for our community and right here at Covenant Village.
Debbie.